everybody, and welcome back to BattleBots Reborn Cup Season 4. We are on Episode 4 now, and it's been some interesting fights up until this moment. This episode is the last part of the round of 64, so can you tell us a little bit about the bracket?
Absolutely. Tonight's section of the bracket has 3 big names that are all lined up to face each other in future rounds. That's Biohazard, HellaChopper, and Tombstone. They all have tricky first round matchups though, so it'll be interesting to see how those go tonight. The main event tonight, Tombstone versus Overdrive, features a heavy title favorite versus a not so good bot, but someone who's upgraded and ready for a big upset. And Sam, that's going to be a fun fight to see. Horizontal spinner, vertical spinner. It's going to be a lot of fun, but we'll get to that later in the episode, of course.
Indeed we will. Well, let's get to the first fight. It's going to be Chomp versus the ringmaster. When Chomp's in the ring, you don't really know what you're going to get.
Yeah, we saw both sides of Chomp's game in Season 3. We saw an absolute slugfest victory against Rhino, great decision making to seal a knockout instead of leaving it to the judges. Then he loses in 2 seconds to Tazbot, so I don't know what Chomp's going to show up today.
Meanwhile, the ringmaster has a new build.
Brand new build, added in the last second, brought to you by Jason KH. This thing's got a little bit better of a weapon, seems to have a little bit better balance, but also has very quick turning, almost too quick. And it kind of struggles to move around a little bit. We saw that in its qualifying match. We'll see what to expect from him.
Right, it's going to be an interesting fight. Let's go watch it.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, this is the only time hitting a female is okay, but good luck getting close enough to land a punch. It's Chomp! In the blue square, if you lose to this preteen driver, please don't storm out like Anthony Pritchard. We don't need any of that crap here. It's the Ringmaster!
We're just about set for the start of this match, but before we begin, let's review the rules for this competition. As always, fights consist of a single 3-minute round where bots will attempt to destroy or immobilize their opponent. Should the match last longer than 3 minutes, our panel of judges will score it based off these categories: 4 points for damage, 5 for aggression, and 6 for control and strategy. Judges have also been instructed to offer leniency towards bots with non-damaging weapons in the damage and aggression categories when possible. Pins cannot last longer than 11 seconds, and should a fight be halted due to a Fusrada moment, they'll be restarted if the fight was stopped before the 2-minute mark, sent to the judges if after the 2-minute mark. With all that said, it's robot fighting time. Let the bot battle begin. Chomp moving in and nearly flipping himself from the early stages.
Chomp seemed a little eager there to start his hammer.
And eager to fire it as well. A couple missed shots there. Wasn't even close enough to the ringmaster. Well, actually, looks like he's gotten a scuff on the top of ringmaster if you look towards the back wheel there.
Meanwhile, it looks like ringmaster's having a hard time getting past Chomp's front plate.
Well, he's underneath briefly there. Tips Chomp over.
Nice little maneuver from ringmaster there.
Not be able to get back, and then a missed hammer shot allows the ringmaster to strike the head of it. That could be a problem if Chomp misses too many times. He leaves that hammer exposed to getting hit and ripped off. Ringmaster moving in to get a shot on the side. Good little even contest so far, and now there's smoke coming out of the side of Chomp. I wonder what that is. The weapon motor? Could that be a wheel motor, perhaps?
Well, it seems that Chomp's hammer is actually taking a little longer to rise. Might seem like a weapon motor to me.
Very well could be the case, and there's a piece off. It looks like that's from the ringmaster. That could be some of his balance pieces, so we'll see how that affects him. Look at all the marks now on the top of the ringmaster. He's taking a lot of shots here.
You can't forget that Chomp's still smoking, though.
Well, both bots receiving some damage, and now Chomp having some hammer issues. That left side starting to sag a little bit. He fires the right side down, and he lost the ram blade on the front.
Chomp's hammer can't seem to get back up.
Well, this was the odd spot he was in against Rhino towards the end of their fight last season, but he used the floor spikes to get it back up for the final hit.
Now would be the perfect time for the ringmaster to come in and maybe swipe off some of Chomp's hammer.
Ringmaster getting stuck in there in a little bit of the front. Now that he's got the ram plate off, he's got free reign on the front of Chomp's chassis. See if he can get more damage as we enter the final minute of this fight. He moves in again. Chomp's hammer really struggling, especially that left arm as it sags to the floor right now, and it's ripped off by the ringmaster. What a shot.
Some nice hit there.
Oh, but a good shot by Chomp in retaliation. And then the ringmaster retaliates. Both of these guys going head to head here.
Who's going to be the one to come out alive?
I think the ringmaster is a shot ahead. But this has gotten very, very close, and Chomp retaliates. I'm pretty sure the next hit's going to win this fight. Both bots heavily smoking as well, and Chomp's done it! What a turnaround! Alright, Sam, let's take a look at the replays. Well, there's the Chomp we like to see. He got stuck in, he grinded a little bit, and he ends up turning that fight around late.
It was an interesting match through and through. It was even towards the end as well. Got me on the edge of my seat trying to determine which one was going to win.
Well, commiserations for the ringmaster. They put in a good effort, but congratulations to Chomp. Very fun to watch victory.
Another damn good fight from Chomp. Getting another late knockout. This is the Chomp we like to see, not the one that just dies in 2 seconds.
Right. Alright, well, second fight, Biohazard versus Death Star. It's an unchanged Biohazard from last season. Is that good or bad?
Well, it hasn't gotten him past the quarterfinals this build, so it's probably bad. We saw him get unlucky in Season 2, and Season 3 it never got going for him. I don't know, I think they're going to need a good weapon. That we need to see something good from him. We haven't seen a lot of changes. I think it's going to hurt him today.
Well, Death Star is going to be anticipating this match, going in as the underdog.
He'll be fired up for it. He's got a Biohazard that is unchanged. He's an unproven rookie, Death Star. You can never trust an unproven rookie, especially like him. He's big, he's wide, he's heavy. I think he's going to be tough to flip.
Alright, well, let's go find out. Down to the box.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, what's the best nation in the world? Contamination. What's the best city in the world? Toxicity. Who's the best robot in the world? Biohazard! In the blue square, what's better than one deadly saw? Duh, 4 deadly saws! It's Death Star!
Let the bot battle begin. Let's see how the unchanged Biohazard is going to handle this rookie in Death Star. We're already seeing some problems as Death Star's aggression's got Biohazard backing into the corner.
We also see some slack in Biohazard's weapon. It's too close to lift.
He's had experimental weapons in the past. This was determined to be the best one, mainly based off how it was in Season 2, but right now he's really, really struggling. The system of Death Star and this approach is really working out for him.
Yeah, Death Star keeps the heat. There was a nice hit there.
Oh.
There's another nice one.
Biohazard is heavily smoking. He's really up against it. Death Star has dominated him, and he could finish this soon.
Yeah, one more hit might be it for Biohazard.
Well, we had him on the spikes there, but he doesn't need the spikes. It's over. Well, Sam, let's take a look at the replays. This was one-sided as hell. Death Star ran Biohazard out of the box.
I don't think Biohazard ever had a chance, if I was being honest. His weapon was just too flimsy to do any kind of damage, and Death Star's aggression just kept him on his ropes.
Well, congratulations to Death Star, his second win of the season, and he will move on.
There goes one of the big names from this section.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. Next up, HellaChopper versus Megatento. Does HellaChopper have something to prove?
You know what? I think he does, actually, because he's known for being the fastest, most powerful spinner. But it takes him so long to get up to speed, and driving is such an issue for him. We don't see it. We just see bots run into him until they just break upon themselves. So, I want to see something from HellaChopper. I want to see a dominant performance, a dominant knockout. I want to see the box littered with parts.
On the other hand, Megatento. Is there any hope for him in what seems like a massively one-sided match?
You know what, on paper, this seems like it's going to be an awful time for Megatento. But, what we said about HellaChopper, he struggles to move, sometimes he takes a while to get up to speed. This fight might not be that one-sided. If Megatento can get in, with minimal damage off the first hit, maybe he can get a wheel, maybe he can get 2 wheels, or anything. Even just push him against the wall and get those hammers to stop. Megatento has a chance here. I would not be surprised if something weird happens in this fight.
Let's go see if any weirdness is going to happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, like a soldier wearing their full uniform in public, this bot demands your attention. It's HellaChopper! In the blue square, think of how many people want to see this bot get destroyed. Now think of how many people are about to be let down by Megatento!
Let the bot battle begin. So will we see an upset or an impressive display from HellaChopper? Both bots clash, and early on, Megatento taking some damage, but this is the opportunity he wants. He slowed down the hammers.
Expecting to see a lot of damage to Megatento tonight.
HellaChopper running and trying to get some distance to get a shot like that, and there's another shot. Megatento losing pieces, but he still charges, and another big chunk out of that shell.
Kudos to Megatento and its aggression, really.
Well, he knows he's going to have to get some aggression points just in case this goes towards the judges. Oh, and there go more pieces. HellaChopper ripping them off one by one.
Are we going to get to see any hits from Megatento here?
Well, here we go. There's a chance as Megatento had HellaChopper in the corner almost. But HellaChopper able to escape and get the hammers back up to speed. Megatento, though, getting stuck in yet again. But how long has he got? Now smoke coming from Megatento, that could be a problem.
I think a few good placed hits. There was a good one from HellaChopper, just a couple more, and Megatento's getting done.
Well, he's being put through the ropes here. He's really had to grind to make this victory happen, but it looks like it's just a hit or two away, and there it is. HellaChopper gets the win. Well, Sam, let's take a look at the replays of this fight. Megatento had a couple times where he got stuck in on HellaChopper, but at the end of the day, HellaChopper was too strong for him.
Megatento tried to be aggressive, tried to get some good hits, and he did on occasion, but again, like you said, HellaChopper was just too strong.
A for effort, F for execution, and it's HC HellaChopper through to the round of 32.
Well, we've seen some interesting fights tonight. Let's go check on some of the highlights from the other matches that we haven't seen.
Well, in this quadrant of the bracket, we had a few big names, but less compared than the other ones. A lot of the bots in this section were of the lower skill level. One bot in particular, Mortis, was looking to repeat his underdog story from last season, but go one better. He started the season against Killer B. Mortis had a bright start in this match, but more often than not, it was Killer B who won the ground clearance battle, and he spent most of the fight pushing and bullying Mortis until he won a judge's decision. At the moment, Sharkbite's most memorable cup contribution was a controversial win last year against Panic Attack. This time he went up against Newbie Free Shipping. It was Free Shipping who had the aggressive nature at the start of the fight, and it wasn't long before he got the shot that got Sharkbite flipped over and out of the match. 4-year veteran Overhaul came into this year of the Cup sporting a brand new build. He was ready to put it to the test against Slam Job. Overhaul was easily able to win the ground clearance battle, but just struggled to finish off Slam Job. Slam Job couldn't do much, and the fight petered out to a judge's decision that Overhaul easily was victorious in. And finally, it was Bronco's brother the Matador taking on one of his brother's former foes in real life, Plan X. Despite Plan X having the deadlier weapon and being the heavier machine, the Matador easily dispatched of the vertical spinner with one quick flip. To see these fights and more in their entirety, head over to our Patreon account, link in the description, and pledge to the $1 tier. With that out of the way though, it is time for tonight's main event. So let's get back to Sam and Nick in the studio.
Alright, now we're on to the main match of the night, Tombstone versus Overdrive. Tombstone will be bringing that new build that we saw in last year's prediction series.
Yeah, so he's got the upgraded version that comes to us from Thyrus. It's definitely a lot better than the Tombstone versions we've seen in the past. However, he hasn't been the most convincing, especially in the Dream Matches special with Son of Waiachi, where he went 1-2 in his 3 fights. Predictions could have been a little bit better. He looked good in the Rumble Champions League on Patreon, but there's still a lot to be desired from this machine.
Well, Overdrive's improvements make him a bot that shouldn't be overlooked.
He's faster, he's got a better weapon, he can get under you a little bit. If he plans his attacks right, gets his angles correct, Tombstone's got exposed wheels, and Tombstone doesn't do the best against all the vertical spinners. We've seen him struggle in the prediction series against Minotaur. He lost a wheel and lost that fight pretty badly, actually, so this might be well balanced despite the names.
Well, will Tombstone exit early, or do we have a cup set coming up?
You know, with the way this season's going, I would not be surprised if we get an upset, but it's Tombstone. He's powerful. He's got the long reach. I'm going to give it to Tombstone.
Let's find out.
Introducing in the red square. Daylight savings time starts when he approves it. Uber pays him when he calls. He is the most interesting bot in the world. It's Tombstone! In the blue square. I don't care how cool this robot is. If it doesn't perform, we won't care about it. Here to try and stay relevant, Overdrive!
Let the main event begin.
Tombstone and Overdrive taking time to get the weapons up to speed, and there's an early clash that sent Tombstone into the wall, and Overdrive popping him up a little bit.
Overdrive's getting some good hits in here.
It's a positive start, and he's got Tombstone bouncing again. Oh, and a big shot, and Tombstone's lost half his blade!
That's really vital to Tombstone right now.
He's gonna need a big response, and he gets the wheel of Overdrive!
They're both evenly matched right now.
Tombstone, half a blade, Overdrive, half his drive! And Tombstone finishes it!
Well, let's take a look at the replays here, Nick. Overdrive started off really well, got under Tombstone, kept him off his feet.
It was very impressive from Overdrive, and he had him against the ropes when he took off half the weapon, but Tombstone got the right shot at the right time, and boy did he need it.
Well, no upset in that last match there. Tombstone getting the knockout victory, but it wasn't the most convincing. And that completes the round of 64. So, heading into next episode, why don't we take a look at some of the fights to watch out for in the round of 32. A couple good fights to look forward to next week. The champion Yeti will be taking on the invertible horizontal spinner Cobalt. And then Beta and Bronco will be having a rematch from their Dream Matches series. And then over on the right side of the bracket, in 2 weeks' time, we'll see some good matches. It's Stinger taking on Minotaur in the round of 32. Mo and Wipeout will have a rematch after their Season 3 round of 16 match, which Wipeout won via knockout. And Deathstar, fresh off his upset against Biohazard, will look to take down another title favorite. This time, HellaChopper will be his opponent. Can't wait to get the round of 32 started. A lot of big names here, and there's some decent matchups to look forward to. We're going to have a deciding round.
It's going to be exciting. Can't wait to see some of the fights. But until then, see you next time.
Bye.